Or you can just take this and just kind of business. Yeah. Come on, Kyle. Don't you know how to handle a mic?
Happy N7 Day, by the way.
N7 Day?
Yeah, the Mass Effect, the ship, Normandy. It's the 7th of November.
I didn't know that. Oh, cool. We're live. Sweet. Hi, Twitch.
Oh, we're live on Twitch? Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, is that Twitch there?
Right, that's Twitch right there. Yep.
Sweet. And we're live to... Hello.
Katie!
Katie made it! Sweet. Well,
once I get the laptop.
Right, okay. Yeah. But did you want to do... Oh, snap.
Damn right I need my crutch.
So did you want to do modern stuff first? Or because I've got, the games last night were awesome, honestly. And I got to geek out for just a little bit.
Go for it,
So
man.
do you want to do that at the top? And
Yeah.
then...
Go
Okay,
for it.
then we'll go into new stuff?
Go for it. I'll basically just be like, yeah, Hearthstone was great. How was Heroes?
Cool. Let me get this a little higher. Really get my nose up on it.
No, I just, for when we're done with the interview, I'm sure the battery on that thing's going to be damn near dead.
Nice. I shall tweet about this.
Go forth and conquer. I don't want to touch things. Oh, fine. Fine, man. Oh, you don't have ad block. Look at this hideous website.
Oh, it's all pink.
Ugh.
It's like Hearthstone beta. All right, let's tweet about that. We're on our channel, right?
Oh yeah, we're on A-Move, man.
Sweet.
It's right here. Look at this shit. Yeah, no one in the chat room, just like normal.
Well, hey, there's kind of stuff to watch today.
Yeah, there's
You
other...
guys are here though. Yeah.
Yeah, you have made a grave error.
Live ITN.
So,
hey, Azek, how's it going, man?
So for convenience sake, I will just be going in order of Heroes Nexus.
Sure.
So we'll go Greymane, we'll go Lunara, then we'll go Cho'Gall and really geek out.
Cool.
And
is this one on? Yeah, that one's on too. Okay.
Is there information up for the new Battleground? That actually the thing I'm a bit fuzzy on.
I think we're just gonna have to be a little fuzzy on it.
Okay.
To be honest, because I played it, and the Battleground panel is today, and that one hasn't been leaked.
Gotcha.
Unlike the matchmaking thing that's today, right now. The 11 o'clock panel.
Oh, the state of the game.
Yes, that got all leaked apparently.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, apparently they pre-recorded it, or they recorded to try it out. So we know stuff is happening, but it's all kind of we're changing it, making it better kind of stuff. Stay tuned. It's not really that fascinating. All right.
Gotcha.
Anyway, I'm supposed to be tweeting this so we can do this thing. Oh, spoilers.
What? What's the spoiler?
Oh, Kristen's talking.
Oh,
She's
Kristen's
talking.
spoiling things?
Yeah. What? No, you're good. You're good. No, you're good. Cool. I have my notes here. So you don't have drops and stuff, so this is going to feel real naked.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna
All
be
right.
wonderful.
Awesome. Raw. Cool, man. I have tweeted. I have twat.
I'm doing the same. Shouldn't say that, man. Phrasing.
Phrasing? We're still doing phrasing?
When you say things like that.
Yeah,
Phrasing.
it's inevitable. Damn it.
All right, now I have tweeted.
Cool.
My tweet has been twatted.
Excellent.
My twat has been twatted. Make sure this thing ain't making noise. Do not disturb.
Cool.
Alrighty. Jay, you can sit close to. There's a chair up here. You can hang out with Katie and Kristen, aka Dream Destroyer. It's a good time, man.
All right, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
These are my. Hang out with Aaron. Yeah.
Yeah, probably for the best.
Because of that shirt, man. Yeah.
He loves
Just
everything.
take the shirt off. Just.
No.
What do you have, a chest tattoo? Like a nice old nautical chest tattoo?
Yeah, thug life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Slug life.
Yep.
Yeah. Got the abbot there.
Sergeant Hammer tramp stamp.
Sexy. Sexy. All right, so we'll just count this down like the olden days.
Yeah, and then we'll pretend like you're editing it in, and then I'll make up words. I'll say them correctly. Get some more lemonade.
Alrighty, well, the latest episode of Into the Nexus, live from BlizzCon, records live in 3, 2, 1. And welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Into the Nexus, the podcast all about Heroes of the Storm. I am Garrett Weinzierl, and with me, as always, is Kyle Ferguson and a room of some live listeners here at BlizzCon. Yeah!
That's some good noise. Thank you for that.
Yeah, dude, this is awesome. We're getting to record a show in the same room. We're at BlizzCon. Let's see, what else are we in? We're in the AIE Guild Hall in the Hilton.
Yes.
We're using Alpha Geek Radios, like all of their stuff, so big thanks to them.
It's awesome.
It's pretty great. And we're in California where it's really dry, and my little Florida lungs just aren't used to it.
Yeah. And, oh, boy, when all the people empty out at the end of the night, because I was there till the very last night, it gets freezing. I mean, you forget about body heat and what that does to a convention center when 18,000 people leave for the day.
Yeah, also, I don't know if you said it like the Hearthstone esports area, but there were people around, and I still was getting frostbite. Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome last night, dude.
It's a good time? Good time you stayed till the bitter end?
I was there till the bitter end, yeah. And it was sad, Should we do spoilers? I mean...
Well, I don't...
It's live from BlizzCon,
okay,
so we assume...
I know we're here to talk heroes, but can we just talk about a moment about philosophy?
Okay.
All right. If it's a live competition, it's not spoilers, and you need to deal with it personally and stop complaining.
Okay, fair enough.
If you don't watch the Super Bowl, you shouldn't expect everyone else not to watch the Super Bowl.
Right, but when it's a movie, then you need to give the 2 weeks.
Right.
When it's like creative property.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Done. You did it.
Perfect.
You found
awesome.
it. You figured it out.
Well, then, everyone left last night when Tempo got knocked out.
Yeah, well, I mean, wasn't that what we were all just kind of hoping to see? Everyone was just there to see if punches would be thrown.
It was rather hilarious, particularly their team videos of them being we've really come together as a team, and this is all Zoa saying that stuff. So it was particularly weighted, and man, it was awesome. I mean, there was so much I learned from watching them, mainly Braveheart, who I knew nothing about, became a huge fan of them by the end of the night. And then they'd used Muradin running behind the Punisher to make the Punisher jump backwards so they had more time to get their defenses together.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so simple.
Why didn't we ever think of that?
No one else is really simple? They waited until the shrines popped and hung out around the camps and then took them once the shrines were up so that they would push when everyone else was busy.
That is ingenious.
Right. It's so simple. Yeah, but it was great. It was awesome. The stage was amazing. They did all the lights. When, the red team would get the Dragon Knight, they'd turn everything red, and there'd be a dragon, boom, boom on the side. And when the temples would go up, lasers were shooting not only on the little side screens, but across the characters behind them.
Oh, that's
and,
wonderful.
When the Immortals were battling, they had, bolts shooting across the characters and across the screen. And it was sweet, dude.
That's delightful.
Yeah, everyone at home missed all that.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you can see, if you're watching the gameplay screen, you're seeing exactly the shots and the camera work that people at home are seeing.
Which was amazing.
Right.
There was some, they'd zoom in on, a fisherman, and then, come on, it's evolved, man. People were theming their mounts.
Oh, well, yeah, but that's been going on for most of the World Championship.
Sure, but,
the color coding.
Yeah, but, I mean, it was in spades. Caleris, all the casters were just amazing. It was so cool to see Heroes Esports come together and look real fancy. And yeah, they shouldn't have ever, tuned out. We remember Heroes of the Dorm where they would randomly pan across the audience mid-fight, and that was no good. So I'm glad no one got to see the stage, but you should have seen the stage.
So basically what you're telling everyone is you should have come to BlizzCon.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
For multiple reasons. We'll get into Cho'Gall later, of course. And then DK versus Braveheart, man. I kid you not, Lost Vikings. It was awesome. And then, what tank do you need for Lost Vikings? Of course you need Stitches. So they ran around, Lost Vikings soaked every single lane, and Stitches just trolled around with a Vala and a Rainer and decimated. It was sick.
Nice. I'm just getting an error here, so I kind of want to take a break real quick, but I think everything's fine.
Okay.
I think we're good.
Yeah. If nothing else, Twitch can see us, and they're not saying it's exploded. So
sweet. We got the Twitch recording. That's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sweet.
It's an older code, but it checks out.
I love it. Thank you, Kyle.
You're welcome. You're welcome for that one.
So yesterday was a big deal. It was a big kind of waterfall of information.
Yes.
And as much as we would like to kind of wait until the Battleground panel happens today. We can't. We just
Right.
It's not going to happen. I'm going to be flying away very soon.
To be fair, I don't think Blizzard wanted to wait because it's kind of Halloween themed. It's a bit pumpkin-y. It kind of has the Headless Horseman on it.
Yeah,
and that was the portrait we got for playing games during Halloween.
Yeah.
I think there was an event that was supposed to happen, and they got busy.
Didn't quite make it.
Yeah.
Is that what it seems like?
But it's sick, dude. That you don't even kill the cores.
The theming is gorgeous.
Yes.
I love the whole look of everything. I mean, you know me, big Halloween fan. I don't know if getting married on Halloween was the giveaway.
Maybe a little bit.
But yeah, really enjoy that holiday. We actually, we went to go play it yesterday, and the darn line was insane. So I just ended up watching a bunch of people play it. And I love the look of the Battleground. And really, you and I are just trying really hard not to talk about Cho'Gall. So
Sure. We can speed it along. But man, there's fortified walls. You go through a tunnel to get out of your core base because you cannot ever destroy the core in that map.
Oh, wow.
You don't even touch it.
That's nuts.
The objective shoots like Blackheart's Bay style sort of cannons at the core, and that's what eventually destroys it. And there's not even
So it basically plays out like Blackheart's Bay usually plays out.
Right, yeah. Like no one's going to end it. You go turn in more coins.
Exactly.
A billion. Yeah, so I guess it kind of cuts out that annoyance at that happening.
Yeah.
You channel the objective. It's like a big old spinny wheel.
Well, that's cool too. It makes it a little more of a battle arena, which is hilarious because we're actually getting a battle arena. But
exactly.
The fact that you're not trying to push on each other's main bases for the whole game, and instead you're just in the shit for the whole time.
Well, and the Headless Horseman is on the map. He is the boss. But when you kill the boss, naturally the bosses are to destroy cores. But they don't. So you just kill him, and then more missiles shoot at the core to destroy it.
Yeah.
And he hits like a truck. Like there is no. I'm not soloing this dude on Misha ever. I mean, yeah, I was on Cho'Gall, who has 2 heroes worth of hit points.
Yeah.
And I was getting decimated by him.
Gotcha. So it has to be a group activity.
Yep.
Well, I like that. I don't like I don't know. I kind of like that we have heroes like Rexar that can solo bosses right now.
Not a fan of the sneaky Sonias.
But I prefer a world where it's a group effort and team fights are going to break out around the objective.
Sure.
So
I like a
I'm
world
happy
where
about
the
that.
tanks wait for the healers to have mana. That's nice. Let's encourage those sort
Yeah,
of things.
guys, you all played WoW. Let's stick with it. Don't
Yeah.
throw that information out the window.
Kill the sap target first.
So we got 3 new heroes kind of previewed. So let's dive into those. First up being Greymane, the friggin' Worgen. So how many episodes in now have we just sat and been like, man, wouldn't it be really cool if we got this hero or that hero? I don't think we ever once said, oh yeah, Greymane. Let's get him in the game.
You know why? Because, well, sorry, League of Legends fans, I'm sorry. I always have to do this. I'm a Dota dude. But we have Lycanthrope in Dota. And it's a lot like Muradin, right? It's an avatar form. Your ultimate is you turn into a wolf and you run real fast and do more damage and get like a crit strike.
Right.
So the fact that they completely dodged the most lame way to execute this character is mind-blowing and awesome. It's dynamic. That's such a buzzword.
I would say, if you don't want a buzzword, I would say it's classy.
Ooh,
if you watch Greymane, he's just a classy-looking hero. The way he moves, the way he fights, and the fact that he has 2 completely different skill sets, whether he's in his Worgen form or he's running around as his Alliance boring human with his porn stash.
I like it.
I love his design.
He looks real sweet.
I just had to throw a little jab in there to Alliance human mustaches.
Fair enough.
They're pretty bad.
They are not quite as bad as that optional gnome one, though. That big one, you know what I'm talking about? The green one or the purple one, depending on...
it depends on the color you choose.
Right, but we all go green or purple.
I go pink.
Oh.
It's all about the pink hairs, the gnomes, man. All about the pink
Only
hair.
if you're a warrior.
But, his whole... his E ability. He has other abilities, but who cares about those? His E ability, which is Dark Flight, is the bread and butter of this character. It's what makes him stand out. If you're not already in Worgen form, you dive in, you turn into a Worgen, and you start slashing the crap out of everyone. And if you are in Worgen form, he disengages. He turns back into his human form and goes right back to being a ranged attacker. I love it.
It kind of happens for every single one of his abilities, too.
Right, yeah, all of his other abilities change, too. But Dark Flight, specifically, that's what triggers all of this.
Yeah. the transformation.
Yeah.
And it skips that whole waiting period because it is lame in those other sorts of MOBAs to wait around. You're a werewolf, but you got to get to X level before you can be a werewolf. And I mean, it's all about having the abilities from the get-go and enjoying the flavor the second you get in the game.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna. I mean, he's squishy. He is mad squishy.
Well, he has to be.
Right, but he lacks all those sort of safety nets that a lot of the other melee assassins have. Because Kerrigan, you have the shield building. Thrall, you have the healing, or the Frostwolf resilience.
Self-healing, yeah.
Yes. Butcher, Illidan,
Yep.
like all dudes with healing.
Yep.
So,
however, all of them, with maybe the exception of Illidan, no escape mechanics. Greymane has a very strong escape mechanic.
right, and it'll be really interesting to see as we go forward. Is he just going to get decimated as a really weak ranged hero in melee when your level's behind, or can you actually manage to be like really, really safe the entire time and get things done with your pistol and not have to rely on jumping?
Yeah, I'm interested too. Probably of the three heroes, which is funny given who we're about to talk about, but probably the one I'm most interested in getting like in my home so I can sit down in a safe environment and really learn him. I find his kit fascinating.
No, you don't want to subject 4 other people to your Greymane on the show floor.
No, I don't. Last year I could play against AI. I can't do that this year. So
no, that's true.
It's not a very safe environment this year at BlizzCon.
You could hope for Arena.
It's true. That is very true. Want to talk about that for a minute?
Should we stay on heroes? I don't know.
Well, you mentioned it. Let's just talk about it. It's BlizzCon.
It's hard not to be excited.
We can sit here and have a normal conversation like we're human beings.
Right, and in front of other people listening.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a Kristen-shaped human being.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay. So the arena, did you see this coming?
No. I mean, we have Brawl
Yeah.
for Hearthstone. We needed something that would help players catch up in a way. Mm-hmm. Like, Quest Gold, perhaps.
Right.
You do a bit of Arena. I mean, right now, if you got into this game, you're staring at a ton of... I mean, they did that review on stage of everything they released over the last year. And you forget it goes all the way back to Thrall. Wasn't he up there?
Yep.
Holy crap.
BlizzCon last year, we tested out Thrall and Jaina.
That's mad. To think that Jaina wasn't in this game. And now people who are like, oh, what a cool experience. I would love to get into this game. And they get in and they see, there's like 4 characters that cost $2,000. Everything else is completely expensive. Thrall isn't he still 10,000? I'm putting us on the spot. I'm going to make us wrong here.
I do not know
I
off the top
probably
of my
shouldn't
head.
have gone there. But he's still expensive. Everyone is still expensive.
Everyone's
That's come
still
out this
expensive.
year.
Yeah, and they've even made comment about how heroes are going to drop in price over time, but that hasn't really been happening. At least not in a speed that I feel like you and I would expect.
We have Stitches. Yeah. I mean, like there's some that should be maybe prohibitively expensive, like Abathur. Okay.
Please, for the love of God,
Sure.
make him more expensive. Increase his cost.
Always at 15,000, 20,000. Do I hear 25,000? Maybe we should stop that.
Sold.
He was in a game last night too.
Oh,
Against the Lost Vikings.
wow.
Yeah.
I need to go back and watch that game.
It kind of went exactly like we say our Heroes League went. Lost Vikings was picked first, and everything just devolved into chaos.
Okay.
Lots of Tassadar Tyrande, too, as we mentioned last show, I do believe.
Yes. Yeah.
So-
And I'm glad to see that. That's a combination I'm all behind.
Yeah. No one picking Diablo, though. Or
sorry.
Nubrak. Like, you cut Sonya. Tyrael everywhere, dude. Heroes League at home. Oh, my goodness, you guys.
So that's the thing we were looking for when we last episode we were talking about what's going to happen that we get back on the server after the championship, and what's the hero that no one's playing right now that we're going to see a ton of because he's now a fad, and it's probably
Sanctification Tyrael.
Sanctification. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you make whiffs. That's the idea. The things go down. Kael'thas, sends out his Phoenix. Blizzard goes down, and he just, 2 seconds of invulnerability. Anyone in the little tiny area. And it did some work last night. It also did, no work at all at other times because someone panicked and got themselves out, and then everyone else died. So I'm sure that's what we'll experience.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It'll take some getting used to, but it does seem, it's now that you explain it, that makes sense. It seems like that's the pick because that's the anti-meta pick. Everyone's all about stacking the AOE and the wombo combos. So
right. Well, and when you need stuns, there's tons of heroes without them, and you can contribute that to your team to get rid of those wizards in the background. And it was cool to hear that, Blizzard was really focusing on that with the new heroes they're releasing, that they want to stop the Raynor, Vala being the only auto attackers, and Jaina, Kael'thas being the only sort of burst damage.
I like that.
So we got Greymane.
Yeah, and I like that they're taking that. We see that approach in Hearthstone, where they're like, they're not just going to go in and nerf the crap out of or buff the crap out of the heroes and they're not seeing use, and nerf the heroes they are seeing use. They're going to try and address it by adding more to the game.
Right. Yeah, nerfs are no good to increase the creativity of the community.
Right, they feel bad, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there was like a whole month where no one was playing Brightwing after her historic.
She was
nerf.
everywhere. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. So,
wait. Yeah, we were about to segue into Arena, and then I took us off a different segue.
Yeah. So back to Arena. I mean, this exists in other MOBAs. Smite has a mode that's very similar to this.
Sure.
I'm just curious, like our gut reaction. Like, are you stoked about it? Because I'm on the fence because I really enjoy, the whole Battleground aspect. I like the more traditional laning, MOBA phases of the game.
It's a lot of fun, but we are in person here, which kind of made it fascinating. Like when we lost, like I turned to the dudes next to me and smiled. Like we were like, and the monk next to me, I didn't have to like type GG monk. Like I just turned to the dude and I was like, awesome job, monk. And he was like, oh thanks. And like we had this great little exchange, and even the people who lost were smiling. But at home,
that's not going to be the case.
No,
not at all. People are so much saltier when they don't actually have to deal with your facial expressions.
Exactly. When they don't see my face glowing over the top of the computer across from them. Maybe we need not in-game voice, in-game cameras, smile shots.
Although that could get really bad really fast.
Yeah.
I tried chat roulette when it first came out.
Right.
Never again.
Do some dishes on there?
Yeah.
Yeah? What, you never seen this?
What?
Look it up, chat.
Dude, okay,
It's a good joke.
I liked the chat roulette.
That was for everyone else.
Pianist. That guy was cool.
Oh, was there a pianist?
Yeah. You just turn in and you just start playing a song about whoever you saw on the camera.
Oh, that's
great.
That's great.
It's beautiful.
Did
Wonderful.
you see the guys doing the video game?
No.
Oh, they tuned
in.
Yeah.
No, I did
GoPro
see that. No, yeah. I was thinking, I'm trying to think back.
Back to Arena.
Back to Arena. Get back on there, Kyle.
Cool.
Get back on there.
So, Arena.
Yep.
You're in an extremely small battleground. Actually, the one I played was Sky Temple, and there were 3 temples, but they were all feet from each other. And the middle one activated, and then halfway through this like 5-10 minute match, the top one activated, and you'd run around, and it was chaos. And the only thing you picked was your hero out of 3.
Yep.
And they seem to be like role specific. So like one dude would get a support, 3 supports to choose from. I got 3 assassins or 3 specialists or 3 warriors, and you would pick between them. And then the only other choice you would make was your heroic ability. And then you'd go and you'd wail on each other, and it was madness. And it was a best of 3 format.
Okay.
So you would run out there, you'd kick butt. If you lost, whatever.
Let's do it again. That was built into the game.
Yeah.
Best of 3 format.
Yeah.
I did not know that. That is awesome.
Yeah, it was because you're gonna have bad luck, right?
Yeah, and
you don't play everything.
It can be super fast, and so best of 3. That's really great.
Right. So if that's the situation where people can learn new heroes, they can gain gold and experience all these different things. That's great for people who think the main game is too stressful. We're seeing that with StarCraft and all these co-op missions and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Blizzard feels very aware that some of their games can be a little too scary.
It is hilarious to see the schism in Blizzard games, because we're looking at Hearthstone where everyone's like, I want more hardcore, more hardcore content. What is wrong with you guys? Stop with the randomness.
You guys are mad.
And
I don't like every season. I want all the cards changed because I'm bored, and I'm like, I just play at night, guys. Like, please.
No, don't. I'm not. I don't speak for the whole Hearthstone community.
No. I didn't mean you, angry chicken guys. I meant Reddit mainly.
Oh, yeah. But the last week they've been just out of line.
Yeah. Tell them.
Well, or a normal Reddit week. I don't know. I think it's just a normal Reddit week. But it's hysterical because then you're seeing games like StarCraft where I totally agree. It's like, no, please give me more fun modes. Give me less. Because I get into a game of StarCraft, man, I just start sweating.
Right.
Immediately. Yeah. But with Heroes, now, this is a game that you and I both really like the hardcore experience.
Yeah.
We live to Hero League.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the main thing. And we didn't hear anything about Unranked Draft.
Nope, sadly.
Yeah, any of those things that work people out of the casual into the serious.
Mm-hmm.
So in that way, arena's kind of a bad thing. Maybe people can kind of get stuck in that crutch. Enjoy it, like it's great for the population of the game, but that's the population that'll never move over, perhaps.
Yeah, and yeah, to kind of keep going with that kind of bigger picture discussion, like maybe that's okay. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's fine that resources aren't being dedicated on Team One to just making the easiest incline you've ever seen from a brand new player into Hero League. Maybe just give us a fun mode like Arena as an alternative. Give us more ways to play the game. Maybe not just a bunch of small steps of the same way to play the game.
Right. Maybe, if they did do that sort of slow incline, you'd get too frustrated because you just feel like you're being cut off from the stuff you just want to get to already. I mean, they've said they're getting rid of talligating completely.
Yes, good.
Yeah.
Murder that.
Sure.
It's terrible.
And with Arena, we now have an area to get to know the heroes and how they move without being overwhelmed by talent choices.
Absolutely. You just jump in and just start throwing down.
There is one big problem, though, with Arena. I picked Artanis.
Okay.
And as we discussed 2 weeks ago now, Artanis is extremely talent dependent. I need that stack of my level 4 and my level 7 in order to start tanking anything. So I couldn't tank anything because I didn't have any talents.
So you go in untalented other than your heroic.
Right, exactly.
Gotcha. But no one else has their talents either. So, without stuff like Giant Killer, you're not seeing
right, but how much
a leveling of the playing field?
How much does Diablo really change? He does, of course.
Right.
But not a ton between level 1 and 10, the way he plays. But there are some heroes out there where, you hit that level 16 with Kael'thas and, boom, it's go time for some.
Oh, right. Same thing if you do a Sentinel build on Tyrande. If you don't have that increased range or it's not dropping down your cooldowns, it's going to feel entirely different.
Exactly. And for Artanis, that's the shifting through people, refreshing your shield, and actually being able to tank anything in the world at all in the first place. So that was a bad pick. So there will be some oddities in there, heroes that don't really work out in the first place, because they don't have that talent they need. On the plus side, though, hammers will never, if they learn in Arena, they will be good hammers. Because they don't just fart around until they can hover siege. And then finally play the game.
Yeah, they're going to learn how to leapfrog properly.
Exactly.
Oh, that's exciting. I like the possibility of the learning aspect of Arena.
Right.
Which is hysterical when you think about it, because that launch trailer that everyone saw was just absurdity to the maximum level.
Well, and then that's what you need to do to encourage people to get in there.
Yeah.
It's wacky.
Oh, man. All the Illidan's?
All the Illidan's,
just genius.
Yeah, Kristen had an all Vala game.
Wow.
By choice?
What do you mean by choice? Oh, no. All 3 choices were Vala for everybody.
Okay, so all 3 choices were Vala.
So 10 Valas come to the field.
Oh, that makes me so happy. I'm so glad that that's a thing. I thought maybe all 3 choices would always be different.
Yeah.
So that's
and
great.
you had to coordinate your wackiness, but no, I guess it's forced upon you.
Sometimes it can just be forced upon you. Oh, I love that.
They said they have some rules in place. Like currently you can't get all Abathur.
Oh, why not?
The technology's not there.
In theory,
Maybe
couldn't you just symbiote an Abathur and have that Abathur be the one that goes into battle?
Right, we all pick one master Abathur, one Slapathur to get in there with 4 hats.
Yeah. Or you send 2 in, or you send 3 in, 2 stay back and hat, and then 1 is just your slap dude.
Oh, yeah, or you get him in there and siege up by hatting someone else. No, you should get your slaps in. But all the same, you could hat someone else who is hatting you, and then you could just, trade hats.
It'd be like the weirdest, lamest tank game ever.
Yeah. Yeah, and on the Sky Temple map, it wouldn't work at all. Actually, in all the maps, there's some sort of objective. You got to kill the Garden Terror that's sitting in the middle. You got to hold the shrine, and the dudes continually spawn because the shrine never turns off.
Oh,
so the dude walks out, you kill him, he just has 5 seconds till he spawns back again. And I don't think an Abathur could tank that.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So I guess to wrap it up, all for the Arena?
Yes.
You see anything wrong with it?
No. Other than, certain heroes are going to be real bad in there without those really specific... Monk, there's a good example. You can't pick your level 1 talent.
Oh.
So you don't have healing, you don't have anything else.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I doubt they'll balance around Arena, but I'm curious if it'll influence hero creation in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, they still get to learn to move. They learn to teleport to other people, so that's what's important.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
It's a very low investment place to go and try out a hero.
Exactly, and with like 10-minute matches total, it should move over quickly. And as esports develops, we're getting longer and longer matches because people are turtling harder,
Right.
learning to play the game. We did have like a 9-minute Spider Queen yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually, if any of them are going to go a little longer, that's it. In a pro
Right,
game.
exactly. I was
Yeah.
like, someone told me, I'm like, oh, Haunted Mines, of course.
Oh,
No.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But no.
Nope.
No.
Tomb of Spider Queen. Well, let's move on and talk about the next hero. Let's talk about Lunara, yet another hero I never saw coming.
This one's a little painful for me because it is. I can just hear all the Dota fans groaning because we have the exact character Enchantress, but they made her unique. They did do quite a bit to her. I love her leaping. She has an awesome movement ability where she kind of does a jump. So I don't really know how to describe it except for that you have every step you take, you accelerate and then you slow down. And so if you're in the middle of like a Jaina Blizzard, you hop out quicker, but you will be delayed after that initial hop. And that is
Okay.
your entire movement speed. You never mount up.
Right. Yeah. She just kind of has a base of faster movement.
Yeah.
You know, which is nice.
But in those sort of like LA traffic steps.
So gun it, slow down. Gun it, slow
Exactly. Yeah.
down. Gun it, slow
85
down.
and 0.
It sounds like we've been driving around on the 405 or
Oh,
something.
dude.
Yeah.
I have highway ladder anxiety.
I'm right with you, man. We got back, had to remember real fast how to drive out here
Yeah. And it's real fast.
in a car with 0 go.
And the walls are like creeping in, and then for no apparent reason, they'll just like triangle in for half a foot just to scare the crap out of you. Maybe take off your mirror. But you don't need your mirrors to see the motorcyclists going down in between the cars.
Welcome to Southern California.
Thank you.
Enjoy your stay.
It's beautiful here.
The weather's quite nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
I mean, it's very dry and I'm dying.
A
'cause
little
I'm
haunting on the way down here, though.
from. Oh yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
we drove through the farmland. There were like all the signs and like, you know,
Yeah, it's not.
Congress is killing us, and you're like,
uh,
whoa, and like there's fields that are on fire.
I'm just a tourist.
Yeah.
I don't want to get involved in your political debates.
I don't want to go to your website. It costs roaming fees.
I have not had a chance to try out Lunara. Of the 3 heroes kind of displayed, which is probably the one I'm the least interested in.
Yeah, well, she's squishy. You know,
Yes.
she is a ranged assassin. A lot of that damage is dealt through damage over time after you get your initial auto attack off, and then once you spread around your poison. So basically, you'll get into combat. If there's 5 people on the enemy team, you want to hit every single one of them with a basic attack, and then use your abilities to augment that poison on them. And at the same time, while she's a dot dealer, she is an anti-dot hero. Because over the course, level 16, level 20, you can dispel, you can cleanse, basically, but also get rid of dots.
Wow.
Which, they said, there's a Gul'dan coming. Of course there is. It's good.
Yeah. That was an interesting thing too, because it was at the end at the Q&A. And it almost seemed like it was a leak because I saw Ken Eric look over like, oh, you shouldn't have said
Oh,
that.
by the way, Ken Eric came on the show once.
Yes.
And he was awesome.
Yep.
I loved his energy. There's no one better to be designing this because his smile was intoxicating. It was contagious. He was so excited about revealing these heroes. I loved it. And yeah, the guy was just like, I'm working on, but it's Legion's coming out. Like, if we didn't have Illidan, we'd all be sitting, where's Illidan?
Yeah,
We got
yeah.
Illidan,
Gotta have
where's
Gul'dan.
Gul'dan?
Exactly.
So, for me, of course, she's an anti-Kael'thas. If you're dispelling living bombs, that's pretty hot.
That is huge.
Yeah.
Which is going to be so cool. Like, cause how many times are you in a hero league and you see Kael'thas first picked? All of a sudden now we have an answer.
Right, other than destroy the Kael'thas.
right.
Yeah,
It's like
jump him.
I could go Zeratul. I mean, he could still possibly die, but I just want to kill him faster than he can kill me.
Right, and Kael'thas has the stun, which is even easier to land on something like a Zeratul. Just pops out behind you.
Yep.
Close range.
Exactly.
So this is a rather large range hero that can get rid of some of those more annoying things that I'm sure Gul'dan's going to bring to the table as well.
Yeah. Both you know, we just talked about Greymane and now Lunara. Both very cool like movement builds. Like their movement abilities are like they haven't run out of ways to make a hero move in a unique way that sets them apart from other heroes.
Right. My favorite is of course her what's the words there? You leaping something?
Leaping something. That would be her heroic leaping strike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You checkers people. Basically,
Yeah.
You jump over them, and if there's a nice line of them, and you have 2 charges on this, you can just jump and then jump, and you can clear a ton of distance. You can use it to jump over trees as long as there's a target. We still don't have a tree-destroying hero. I'm a little surprised about that.
No, but not every Battleground has a tree.
Yeah, yeah. We could destroy some walls, I guess.
What are you going to destroy on Blackheart's Bay? Like the water?
Sharks, yeah.
You're going to kill the shark that's like just chilling?
He just wants to escape, man.
That's true. I mean, I can't blame him there.
Yeah.
But I don't think the game's set up to allow that to happen.
Yeah.
I don't believe the engine's built in that way.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's a big mechanic in other MOBAs, so...
I'm surprised we haven't had any destructible rocks yet.
Yeah.
I mean, Dustin Browder is making this game, and we don't have anything that's like, you can't like bust down a wall anywhere.
There was a tunnel that opened on the new map. I don't know why, because I don't really understand, and the panel hasn't happened yet. But, the Raven Lord against the Crypt Lord was like, I opened a tunnel, and you can use it to get from your base to the middle of the map instantly.
The towers and the walls? Oh, the walls are.
Oh, yeah, the wall. Oh,
yeah, but that
No, but remember, we're early,
Our audience is correcting us that towers and walls are destructible, and that is true.
Right.
But it's not like the rebel then forms a wall elsewhere.
But that was HOTS. Wings of Liberty was only destructible rocks. And then in HOTS, they added the rocks that fell over into a wall.
Kyle, by the way, everyone using HOTS for the correct acronym of Heart of the Swarm, not the wrong one that everyone else is using for heroes.
Well, we're almost done with it, Will we call it Heart? Because we're going to Wings, Heart, Void? Or is it Swarm? We need to decide this.
I'm going to say Swarm.
Because Tuesday, Legacy of the Void comes out.
When I think Zerg, I don't think Heart.
Yeah. But it was a heartfelt game.
You.
This was cute. No.
All right, so let's get to the last hero before we run out of time here, and we want to call up a guest, Kristen, aka Dream Destroyer. If you guys watch the live Into the Nexus, you'll probably see her owning face as Murky or something equally as fun on the pre-show. And we're calling you up, Kristen, because we're going to talk about Cho'Gall. And I hear tale that you and Kyle archoned the shit out of Cho'Gall.
Basically, everyone on the opposite team was dead the entire time. We were the boss of the map.
All right, for the audio only listeners, I'm going to put up my hand for a high five to Kristen right now. There it is.
It worked good. It was real close. So she was Gall, and I was Cho. I controlled all the movement. My abilities, I had the swing and punch that I then dove with, so I had a pretty strong, engage.
The animation for the swinging punch, by the way, one of my favorite things in this game ever.
Yeah.
It's just hysterical.
He looks a little sore, but he gets it going. It's nice.
Yeah, it's
Big
wonderful.
old flame burst that would heal you, and you could talent into it that if you attack the flaming people, you then would get more health.
Let's rewind for just a second. How nuts is it that we have a hero that 2 people control?
It's amazing. It's so much fun. The only thing you really have to take into account is if both people are control freaks, because then someone's going to have to step back because he did the movement, so I had to step back. But he's great with positioning, so that's why.
I've played many games of Heroes with you, Kristen, too, and I feel like you and I have a much more similar gaming persona.
We do, so we would probably
little
fight
aggro,
a lot.
Little aggro, yeah.
Just a little. But yeah, because one person controls the movement, and if you're not speaking the whole time, that means there are probably going to be moments where the Gall, who can't control the movement, is thinking, oh my God, pull back, please. Oh, we're dead.
And you count as 2 heroes when you die.
Right, I know. Which it should, because he has way more hit points and dishes out a lot of pain compared to other heroes, which makes sense. You're only going to have 4 heroes.
I did, with my own abilities, I did feel like I was doing a normal hero's worth of damage. Mm-hmm. But of course, then there was all this purple stuff flying everywhere that I didn't know really what was going on.
Yeah.
It was kind of like having an Abba hat, but Abathur Gall never had to worry about anything ever.
Can I tell you the analogy I immediately thought of when I heard how it worked, that one person controlled the movement and the other was just kind of hanging around as like a wizard turret?
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is just giving me mad flashbacks to all those times in Halo that I was on the turret on the Warthog and I hated my friend that was driving.
Yes! There we go!
And he gets in that Austin Powers hallway and just
Yeah. I'm just like, thanks, buddy. Thank you so much. I'm so glad.
Around. Oh, it's flipped.
But every now and then you get that other friend who's just a Warthog wizard just lining up the most beautiful shots. So I'm looking forward to that experience. Maybe not the first one, but
Well, and I've tried to help people. The hardest part to teach, which is why I do all the replay analysis, is movement and positioning. Because you can go online, you can find a talent build. Please take them from Hot Slogs, by the way. Don't read anyone's crazy thing. That's their crazy thing. But you can't teach movement. And now I can put you on my shoulder, and we can move around together. And new players can take advantage of this huge pool of knowledge that someone might have and bring from other MOBAs.
Yeah.
So I did. I was like, I'm choked. I kind of jumped on it, much like when we.
Just a little.
Well, you remember when we first started playing MOBAs, you're like, ooh, who's this Abaddon guy? Yeah, he's cool. And I was like, because that was my dude. And you can play anything you want, but when you're playing the dude I really like, you get a little personal about it.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty good at this game, and I think my positioning's good. So I was a little aggressive to take Cho.
I don't know. Last time I played with you played Artanis, so I would argue. I would argue that fact.
Fair enough. He's new. I'm still figuring him out. I'm gonna be awesome. But yeah, once we were in the thick of it, it was real sweet. And there's some awesome talents in there that just so one of the ones that really just kind of speaks to the flavor is at level 20, I can pick an ability where I make me invincible, but she gets the button.
That is freaking cool.
So I pick the talent, but she gets the button.
And then I have one where I can choose to increase our speed to give to him. And you also move through enemies with this one, which we'll have to try later because we didn't get to try it, but it looked really, really cool.
So you get to clip through creeps and heroes.
I control the mounting, but she has a mount button that would let us clip through people.
Oh, okay. So if you start getting body blocked, you can just be like, see ya.
Exactly. I'm out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What a cool freaking... Again, more things we never really thought of.
Yeah, we talked about last show about how we wanted the weird. And this certainly brought the weird up.
Yeah. Well, we had that emailer who emailed in. It's just like, I'm kind of falling out of love with heroes. Where's the weird? Where's the crazy wackiness? And it's just like... I know it took longer than that for them to develop the hero, but I feel like Ken Eric heard that and was just like, drop mic.
Right. Well, and in the pipeline since 2012.
Yeah, they showed us that. They showed us that pre-alpha screenshot. Why I say pre-alpha is 3 years before the the alpha.
When Muradin was tech Nexus Muradin for no real reason. There was something floating in the back there. I saw it.
It was a gyrocopter from Warcraft 3.
Oh, what about the Protossy thing?
There was also a Blade Master.
Yeah, there was a Blade Master.
Yeah, there was a Protossy thing. I didn't see the Protossy thing.
Top right corner.
Okay.
Left. Sorry.
Top
I need
left.
to do my.
The
my
gyrocopter was top right.
Okay, so gyrocopter.
Yeah.
Gnome, probably. No, are they gnomes? Are the gyrocopters gnomes in Warcraft 3? Okay, cool. Thank you.
There it is. And actually, one of the questions during the Q&A was, "Where's my gnomes at?"
Yeah.
Which they just didn't really answer.
No. They asked which one you wanted most and to speak up.
Well, keep in mind, too, they also mentioned they look at the silhouette as well when they pick heroes because you want something visually distinctive on the battlefield. So in the thick of it, you can pinpoint who you're fighting. And gnomes probably look a little too much like Murky.
Or
they're really, really small.
Yeah,
and Vikings.
But Murky's kind of, he's got scoliosis. He's all hunched over.
Yeah.
Gnomes have some nice, strong vertebrae.
Yeah.
Even though there's only 3 vertebrae. So
my favorite example of that is the horrifying monkey Brightwing, which you immediately see coming at you and throwing bananas, but it's Brightwing.
Yeah.
So you can get pretty wacky with those as long as you maintain that look.
They don't need to get that wacky. I'm okay with no more monkeys.
No,
that skin really creeps me out.
That and the clown Gazlo.
The clown Gazlo is the thing of nightmares.
Let's not forget Bikini Stitch is here. We saw him in action last night, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, his hook is
a pail, a plastic blue pail.
Yeah. He's got popsicles in his hand.
He's got little pigtails that bounce.
Yeah, needs some physics on the pigtails.
I love Bikini Stitches, man. It's great. What's wrong with that? Yeah, I always wanted him to have a bra.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, now he has one.
One of my other favorite things about Cho'Gall was that she could take a talent that gave us sort of a Tychus shift that she controlled. So while I'm moving around and being all big and bulky and spinning up my arm to
I could get angry and go, no, don't go that way.
And just shift us a little bit out of the way of something or into something.
That is the flavor of that is perfect.
Yeah.
Because they're all smacking each other around. So.
And then, of course, my favorite talent of all that I got to pick for me was I had an ice block of stasis. but
Yeah.
it was like a molten something or other, and rocks formed around me, and I made us invincible for 3 seconds and dealt area damage around me while this was going on. I'm locked down. I can't do anything. But
Yes, so Gaul can actually fire off his stuff while you're mounted, while you're in stasis. It's incredible.
While you're mounted?
Yeah, while you're
So you
mounted,
literally are like your
you literally
Halo
take
Warthog.
minions out, and you can launch your little bouncy ball. The only thing that you really have to get down with Gaul is his skill shots, because the first one is a line skill shot, and you can certainly spec to make it wider, which is great in the beginning. However, you also then can choose the movement spec, which I'm assuming will be a bit stronger since you can move through enemies. So in the long run, you'll want to be able to hit that without needing the wider breadth. And then the bouncy ball, if you aim it closer, it's got this really cool physics layout with the circles. So you shoot it, and if it's close to you, it'll do little bounces. But if you aim it further away, it'll do bigger bounces. Yeah.
That's insane.
yeah, I didn't really know what was going on.
They mentioned multiple times on the panel that they wanted it to feel like a raid boss, and I feel like they've accomplished that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Yeah, especially when he's aiming one direction and I'm getting the Kael'thas that's trying to come up behind.
Well, Kristen, thanks so much for joining.
Cool. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being a wonderful Gaul.
Of course. Anytime.
The Gaul of Kristen.
So, of course, the other cool thing about Cho'Gall. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Is you can't buy him.
Yeah.
You can't buy Cho'Gall.
You have to be friendly.
Yes.
You have to be a friendly person.
Which is awesome, because I was talking about it as sort of this learning tool. You know, if you're sitting on my shoulder and we move around together, maybe you'll pick up some cool things.
But what if you're trying to learn with a tool?
Then you're saying that people at BlizzCon, there's tools at BlizzCon.
No,
Or
everyone here is
virtual
great.
tickets, I guess. That's,
Yeah, it's just virtual ticket holders.
Oh, yeah,
sorry,
okay.
sorry,
Yeah.
Twitch.
But no, it'd be cool. You know, you have to win 4 games though. That's a pretty big investment.
That is, yeah, that's a strong.
Like I wanna do a stream. Like just be like, come on, Cho'Gall night, and like get in here and let's all you know. Okay, you get in and call me on Skype. Let's do this. And,
I'm already trying to think of a fun punny name that we can do for like Cho'Gall nights.
yeah, spread the Cho'Gall. I don't know something. Does that have a good acronym? Probably not.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Something with Twilight because it's Twilight Hammer.
But you have to win 4, not just play 4.
Right.
You have to win
Yeah,
them.
you have to win 4.
And
Absolutely.
that is probably. I mean, you're already at 2 hours if you win every single one in a row.
Yeah, that's a big investment. So, you know, not necessarily something you might want to do in a sitting
Yes. Or with random.
with random people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Friendly things.
Because you have to win.
Hope your friends went to BlizzCon or bought a virtual ticket.
Right, exactly.
But I really like the idea. I mean, the Hero League aspect of this terrifies me.
Oh, sure. Well, you go in doubles.
I know.
So
I know.
you
It
can
still
only-
terrifies me.
Right. So if you're first pick on the first pick team
Mm-hmm.
and you're all by yourself, you can't get Cho'Gall. You can't like call Cho and hope someone else picks Gall later on.
Right.
But now that when you queue together, they said people who queue together will always be in the group of 2 spot from now on. And the solo queuer in there will be in the 1 spot. So then you pick Cho'Gall together at the same time.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, they've done a lot of. I was so interested in the systems and how this was going to work, how this all came together, and it seemed like they put a lot of thought into it. And Ken Eric even said, "Listen, you know, give us your feedback. Let us know how we can clean it up if you don't think we've gone deep enough."
Right. And that was my biggest concern. Is like I'm gonna pick Cho, and then we're waiting around, and you don't want Gall, and then the other team picks Gall, and so it's like, is he divided in half or
Yeah.
anything?
Yeah, but no, I mean overall, I no other MOBA has done something like this.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. It's what I want to see from Heroes, and I think it's legit. I think this is something that could work.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if we'll see it in tournaments, but
It seemed good.
from the damage output we've seen, I'm not counting it out.
It didn't seem insane. I mean, of course, you start going down the crazy road, and you're like, let's get an Abathur hat on him.
Let's never do that. Let's never do that ever. Because Ken Eric was up there. He's like, "Oh, but you only have 4 bodies on the." That's never happened before. I'm like, "Well, you have Abathur. It's kind of like only having 4 bodies out on the field.
Right,
So if
yeah.
you get an Abathur with a Cho'Gall, that's just going to be a terrifying. You're just everyone.
It's a bit of an investment, yeah.
Yeah.
But feel real cool.
Yeah. But then there's only 3 targets ever
Yeah.
out on the field. Like, someone's just getting bursted down.
And you can go invincible for 3 seconds while, Gull goes nuts. So there's ways around it.
That is... Okay.
And the mount is awesome. The whole
Oh,
over the
yeah,
shoulder
where you
horse.
hold just shoulder horse. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently that's like a Cho'Gall specific mount, and he can just ride mounts normally if you want to bust out one of your other mounts.
Yeah, we misselected and ended up on a mount.
I was kind of hoping that he would do that with any mount you select, but apparently
only horses.
it's only that one horse, yeah.
Yeah. Well, all the horses.
Oh, all the horses?
Because all the horses are the same model.
Oh,
so you
okay.
can
I
even get a
didn't-
unicorn.
I didn't know that.
Or the Nexus.
I
or
thought
the
it was
Rainer.
like Zagara's Brood Wings, and it's just the horse he always pulls out.
No, luckily not. So.
Okay. Well,
But no battle beasts, no Wonder Billy, which is what I think.
oh, Wonder Billy would be great.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Wonder Billy?
I guess she's small and she has a different
He
frame.
could just pop it up on the shoulder. He wouldn't even have to hold it. It
Yeah.
just kind of balances there.
carry it like a suitcase.
Wonderful. Yeah, Pepe.
Yeah, right on the head.
There we go.
That'd be a good mount.
Wonderful. Yeah, just throw it on his head. So, I think we'll wrap it up there. We've still got the Battleground panel coming later today.
Yep.
We're gonna have to talk about that in over a week since I'll still be heading out on the honeymoon and all that. But
Yeah, and so and I'll be for everyone at home, I'll be here Thursday on the stream, not here in this room.
on twitch.tv/AMoveTV.
Exactly, that's
There
the
you go.
place. So I'll be doing the after show games, no show after show, the show games, I guess we'll call them. There'll probably be talk because I can't shut up.
Yeah. Kyle's incapable of not teaching people about
Okay.
heroes.
That's a good way
So,
to put it. I
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, you're. it's like a nervous tick. You just like, oh, don't stand there.
Yeah.
Oh, stutter step.
No, that I'm just quiet until someone bridges.
Right. If
'cause
someone goes
they
asking
wanna
for it.
learn and when
Which
they're
you-
asking for it.
Yeah, which used to not be like that at all, and now you're just like Professor Heroes.
Oh well, thank you.
Yeah, I like it. I like this new Kyle.
I'm glad.
So before we end it, where can folks find you?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter at Kyle Ferguson. You can find my solo stream on twitch.tv/Kyle Ferguson. There will most likely be a rather tired but available show of solo Q&A this Tuesday.
Nice.
And other than that, yeah, BlizzCon.
BlizzCon.
BlizzCon!
Yeah. I can be found on Twitter at Garrett Art. All my shows are on AMoveTV. Other than that, I'll be in Maui next week with my new wife Katie. So
Oh,
yeah.
fresh out of the box.
Oh yeah, fresh out of yeah. We've lived together for like 4 years, so it's not really. Everyone's like,
Living
"Oh,
insane.
what's different?" I'm like, nothing at
Yeah.
all. Nothing's different. We just got a vacation out of this, and it's wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah. So, anyways, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you in a little, just over a week. We got this episode to tide you over.
Yeah.
And we'll see you for the next Into the Nexus. Good luck and have fun.
Take care.
Cool.
Sick. Thank you for being here.
Todd's not here, is he?
Oh no, he ran off.
No. I'm gonna have to hope I turn this off correctly.
You probably just shouldn't touch anything.
Well, that'll keep the stream going indefinitely.
Oh, well, but there's no one else here,